What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Be Battle Ready podcast, Daily Battle Edition. This is episode number 9, and we're talking about systems and the rules within your business. The systems are the rule book of your business. So sit back, enjoy today's rant. All right, welcome again. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast and my rant. So today we're talking about the rule book of your business are your right? So if we look at football has clear defined rules, right? It has rules on what the sidelines are, what the end zones are, what you can and can't do, what's foul, what's to be penalized, and so on and so forth. Okay? And the rules within your business, the rule book of your business are the systems. And the systems keep you from basically catastrophic injury, right? And they create predictable results. Okay? Now there's playbooks that are strategies and all this other stuff, right? So, little context to this, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine. He's also a coach in the, health and fitness lifestyle space, okay? So, and he was talking to me about how a couple of his, recent sales calls didn't go as well as he wanted, right? And I asked him, I'm like, well, do you have a defined sales process? What you say, generally what you say, not, I don't want to say script, but it's a general idea of how to word and phrase things, okay? And he's like, no, man, I just wing it. And, dude, I totally get it. It's fun to wing it. Us as entrepreneurs, we are creative. We're here to... we're naturally creating, naturally building, naturally wanting to do these things, right? But to one point, they serve us. Absolutely serve us, right? Back just at the Warrior Wealth Summit, a great framework was given to us about, the 3 stages of this entrepreneur, right? Or the 3 levels of it, okay? You have your entrepreneur, which is your hustler, right? That dude just does everything he can. He or she does everything he can to get it done, right? Hustle, right? Then you have your CEO. And your CEO is like, whoa, how do we make this predictable and repetitive and sustainable and just consistent, right? The CEO wants to put in systems and processes and everything else to support the entrepreneur. Okay? So that we could predictably grow, take on more stuff, and so that you don't burn out, right? And then, the third one was your guru, which was focused on legacy and all this other stuff. It was a great framework. It was a way to present it to me in a different facet than I've seen it in the past, and it really clarified for me where my natural tendency is, right? My natural tendency is probably the CEO. Because when I hear, hey, this idea that I have, like that entrepreneur spirit, I'm like, okay, well, how do we get it done? What do we got? What are the pieces we got to put in place so that gets done? And how do we make it predictable? And yada yada yada. Okay, so that's actually what I'm crafting my business around. There's a guy out there that says your contract CEO, your CEO, and I think that's really what I am working with, right? Is how do we take what you're doing and systemize, put systems and structure in place to have predictable growth, but also to increase your capacity. Okay, so that's what these rule books, these systems do. Okay, so because you need to know, like, I went into XYZ sales presentation, call, whatever that is for you. And I followed the script, and here's what happened. Great. What's the result? I'll take you back to when we did this at the gym. Like, we were part of a mastermind. I didn't know it was a mastermind at the time, a mentoring group. That one of the things they did was a inbound phone script, which could be an outbound, but it was an inbound phone script that generally gave you the questions that you had to do and ask, and the information that you needed for to get them to move on to the next steps. And it's not manipulation, it's just you being a listener instead of just a talker. Okay, and then we had a general outline of what it looked like when we presented, where someone came down for a one-on-one intro. And when we put those and follow those systems, those general outlines of how we were supposed to do it, we had success in it, right? The customer feels served, they feel listened to, and it's a good experience on both sides, and it provides higher success rates. Okay, so systems in themselves, it's great if you could produce a result, right? And systems help you. Systems in the rule books, help you produce that result over and over again. Okay, so that's the biggest thing that I see with, dealing with, struggling business owners, right? Is systems and predictable systems, right? And those who've created, and the funny thing about this is on the other side is completely different topic. The ones that have systems and they're still not producing the results, it comes down to leadership, right? And that's a whole different topic. If I get inspired, I'll talk to you about that. But these systems, right? We as entrepreneurs and these creative people, we cannot work for anybody. This is the reason why we can't work for anybody. Because when we see something, we need to fix it. Something's fixed, broken, no matter what. Opportunity, it might be broken. We want to fix it. We want to improve upon it. We want to do X, Y, Z. I've had that experience working for other people. I mean, they had predictable systems and everything else, and they didn't always I could see where they can improve, but they worked for them, right? But it was rules. And the ones when we don't follow the rules and the systems, and which is hard for individuals like me to I just want to figure out what's the next little thing I could tweak. Okay, that we don't follow that. That we don't produce the results that we want, right? And it's a saying that I've heard over and over again: the systems provide you freedom. So when I first came into owning a business and running a business and all that other stuff, it was systems. What are systems? I get it. I get that some people that just starting off in business, they've operated within the system and don't see the system, right? They just see, I just have to do this, right? But at some point, you need to put these in, okay? And one of the first things I work with people on is coming up in regards to systems is, how are you planning your year? When does that happen? When do you start that? When do you finish it? What are the repeatable things, events that happen throughout the year? It could be in your marketing, it could be in, team development, staff development, and things like that. And, in the past, I felt a disconnect from macro planning, right, down to how does this play out on a yearly basis, quarterly basis, and a daily basis. So what are your daily systems? I look back, you can, if you have the right system in place that's quantifiable, you could go back and say, well, I know where I'm messing up because I'm not executing. So, yeah. So these systems, these rule book, provide not just repeatability, but transferability. So it's funny, right? Us as a, when we first started running the gym, I did all the classes. I did all the classes for it. Okay? And when I did all the classes, at one point I needed to have somebody else do the classes, right? And it was like, well, how do I transfer that over? You know, there's a long process of, you know, somebody training. But what I ended up doing, because, you know, reading a lot, I was given this idea, this view, and it changed my view on it, from the E-Myth book. And if you're just starting out, if you're considering to start a business, or you do currently have a business, you need to read the E-Myth and understand that, you know, the systems you put in your business are there. And then what I attempted to do, and what I crafted, was a way to predictably, like, here's how, if you're going to come, my goal was, if you come at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever it is, and you come at 6 p.m., the differences in the classes, like how they're going to flow through and what's going to happen in the class, isn't going to change. All right? It was this subway idea. And I think I talked about this on one of my last episodes. This idea that, you know, fulfillment in your product or service, and this applies to your marketing, this applies to your sales, this applies to every aspect of your business. What is the system? And trust me, you can over systematize. But what does that look like? And I get the fortunate opportunity tomorrow to work with a client and actually, you know, help her, work with her one-on-one to develop her fulfillment system. What's her unique spin? It's great. It's fun. I find that fun. So the thing is that when you don't follow the system that's proven, then you don't know, you don't have a predictable result. And sometimes the system isn't working. But you need to follow the system to figure out if it's not working. So I'm going to end this now, and where are you at? Where do you need to implement systems, rules within your business, because the results are unpredictable? Because by creating predictable results, you solve the problem. If you don't have predictable results, you haven't solved the problem. Or if you can just, you yourself, create results, and it's not transferable, it's not a system yet. It's not predictable yet. You might be able to do it, but can you get somebody else to do it? So where do you need to put in a system to create predictability? And this could happen in your business, but it also can happen in your life. With, you know, the coach that I'm working with, you know, this topic came up on one of his live videos about systemizing your life. So, and then, you know, just like I say, majority of the time, what can you do today to start that? To just do today. All right. Well, I'd love to hear your feedback, what your thing is that you need to get done. And I will see you next time.